Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out another property here in Mexico near Cancun. This one is the Impression Moxché. It's by Secrets, and it's part of the World of Hyatt program, and it is one of the luxury all-inclusive properties that Hyatt launched in the last few years. And in this video, we're going to check out all the fun things to do on property, including all of the amazing different types of pools available to all the guests here at Impression, as well as the Secrets, which is a part of this property as well. We're going to go over all the pros and cons of spending $1,000 to stay here for just one night. So let's check out everything here. We're starting out here at the front, a very dramatic entrance indeed with some awesome fountains going on here. So this is where you'll be dropped off by your transportation from the airport or from maybe another hotel that you're staying at in the area. And you'll be greeted with some champagne or a margarita as a welcome beverage, and then led by someone from the Impression team over to the Impression lobby. So this is sort of a shared space because the building over there to the left is Impression, and then to the right over here is Secrets. So they share a lot of the major pools here on property, but Impression has a lot of special areas just for them and a lot of special privileges, making it worth it to upgrade possibly. So we're going to check all of that out throughout this video. Now I'll say it was pretty busy at check-in, and it wasn't as private of an experience as I would have expected at a property like this. We're actually led as a group to the lobby here, but the lobby has a bar with premium liquors as well as a small area with food, and the check-in was done at the bar. Once I checked in, I headed straight back to where I started to begin this tour because this view is just amazing. The real star of this resort is this lagoon. It's got that beautiful blue water that you are heading all the way to the Caribbean for, but it's actually completely artificial. This was made by the hotel, and it is just a truly massive pool, one of the biggest that I have ever seen. Plenty of shallow areas, but actually can get up to 10 feet deep, and there's little areas that you can rest your drinks and swim around. It had a nice little Tulum vibe, I felt like, and it's actually got sand around it, so very, very relaxing area. This is known as the lobby bar. I actually never visited this again, but there is a bar right here. Of course, being an all-inclusive, there are plenty of bars around, so we're going to explore all of those during this video. There's even convention center space here. It's a massive, massive property, so it makes a lot of sense that there are some convention centers available here on property. Impression has 198 suites, and then the Secret side has over 400, almost 500 rooms. And so, like I said, if you're on the Impression side, you have access to absolutely everything here at the resort. And if you're on the Secret side, you just have access to most of the resort. There's going to be some things that you are not allowed to visit as a Secrets guest. But open to everyone here is going to be the Market Cafe. This is going to be the major buffet here on property. Didn't get a chance to dine here, but wanted to walk through, of course. And I loved all the different items available, including some fresh ice cream, freshly made there for everyone. So all self-serve, very cool. You have tacos, you have sushi, you have a whole pizza oven here. So everything's super high quality here. This was the number one thing that I noticed at Impression, is that all the food was absolutely incredible, no matter where you dined on property. And a cool thing about the Market Cafe is that you can head out to the balcony and enjoy views of the lagoon here. So always very close to those beautiful photos and memories that you're heading all the way here to create. This is all located on the 3rd floor, and most of the public spaces are going to be on the 1st floor. So we're going to head down to the 1st floor and start exploring some of the restaurants, make our way around the pool area in a circle, try and make this as organized as possible because this place is absolutely massive. So down here on the 1st floor, you can see all the lush environments that they've created. I just cannot believe how much time and effort is put into the plants at these resorts everywhere in Mexico, but especially here. Ember is the resort's steakhouse. As you can tell from the interiors here, and I've been to a lot of all-inclusives, this feels like a high-end 5-star restaurant, not just another resort restaurant that they put a steakhouse in. No reservations needed throughout the resort. You can show up to dinner and just wait for a table. I recommend showing up earlier on the 6 p.m. side just to avoid that wait. Suki is the resort's Japanese restaurant, and they have, of course, hibachi, a very popular activity at many of the resorts here in Mexico. Obviously high-end looking as well. And they even have an omakase. So Tanoshi is going to be the omakase. This is actually an extra charge. If you're staying for longer, a lot of times you can actually get this for free, like 5 days or longer. So just check with your butler over at Impression and see if they'll waive the charge. Now, as we continue counterclockwise around the lagoon, you have Dos Almas, which is the resort's Mexican restaurant. And this is where I elected to have one of my meals here on property because I do love Mexican food. I wanted to see how good the local Mexican food was here on property. So definitely wanted to check this out. And I was very, very impressed with how the bar and restaurant looked. Again, that is a common theme that you're going to hear throughout this video is how impressed I was with how this resort is designed. Now, overall, the service in here wasn't amazing, though this is not Impressions. This is, for the entire resort. So it was a little slower than I would have liked, but the food quality was very good. Right outside is a Sun Sea store, so you can grab, anything that you might have forgotten at home there for the beach or for the pools. And then the entrance to the spa area is going to be here as well. Now, you don't get access to the spa as an Impression guest automatically, though I did receive a hydrotherapy session as a Hyatt Globalist, so that's a nice perk. In here is a free-to-use fitness center as well, so not gigantic. I would have expected, honestly, a little bit nicer of a fitness center. Available here. It was quite busy when I was walking through, but they do have a small exercise room for classes as well. And then here's the hydrotherapy circuit. I do recommend doing this at least once, even if it's not included in your stay. It takes about 50 minutes. Someone leads you through all of the different activities. It's very fun. And for someone that kind of gets bored every 5 or 10 minutes in a spa environment, it's nice that someone is constantly leading me around. Heading back underneath the sky bridge that we walked under to reach Dos Almas and the spa, we're going to check out a few more shops and restaurants around here. You have a jewelry shop, Hoop. So if you need to grab some jewelry while you're here on property, you do have that available. And walking, you can see the pathways are very cool. It's not like a strictly paved path. They've used a ton of stone throughout the resort. And right to the right is going to be Dark Horse. And this is probably the nicest sports bar that I've seen at any resort anywhere. It's 2 stories. It's got TVs everywhere. They do karaoke here in the evenings. They have a big bar. Then on the top floor, they have a number of different pool tables, as well as one of the most unique features that I've seen at a resort, a golf simulator, which as a golf fanatic, if you've watched this channel, I love golf. It was really a lot of fun to play. They had someone there basically caddying for you too. So kudos to the activities team. They were great. And I'll say pretty much throughout the resort, there were high quality liquors available. If you wanted something like a Don Julio Reposado or something like that, typically you're going to find that at some of the higher end bars on property. You just kind of had to pick and see what bar had what. But overall, still decent brands out there. No real cost cuttings or anything like that. Right next to Dark Horse behind it is going to be the Coco Cafe. And this is a 24-hour coffee shop. It has ice cream as well, different pastries, and so if you need a snack outside of meal hours, you can always head over there. And there is a smoking section right close by. There's a wine boutique across the way, and they do a lot of liquor tastings and wine tastings in here. They seemed quite expensive for what it was, especially at an all-inclusive resort, but very high-end looking on the inside as well. It was locked, so I couldn't walk in there. Bamboo is the resort's vegan restaurant, but don't worry, they can actually add meat to any dish here. But the cool thing about this is it's actually located on a deck above the lagoon, so you get these awesome lagoon views. I did want to try this out, but I just did not have time. But they have like pad thai, different Southeast Asian dishes here, probably pretty good. So definitely check this out, especially if you want sort of a warmer meal, maybe in your swimsuit or something like that. This felt a little bit more casual than some of the other options. Now, around the lagoon, there are a few beach chairs on decks as well as on the beach. We'll say it was pretty hard to find a chair in the middle of the day, so you do have to get out there early and reserve one. Now, as Impression guests, you have your own dedicated beach area as well as pools that I'll show you later in the video. But I do want to let you know that if these lagoons are appealing to you as an Impression member, you still do have to go fight it out with everyone for one of those chairs. Now, the lagoon does have its own bar. You kind of walk out and stroll across the beach here. And of course, there's waiters strolling around asking for drink orders as well, but it's fun to just stop in and feel like you're at a windswept beach bar somewhere very different than where you actually are. It's very fun. Now we're making our way to the next style of pool here at the Impression Moxché. This pool, if you remember from the footage earlier, actually juts out into the lagoon, and it's got a glass side so you can actually see into the pool. So it's actually located sort of elevated, and it's pretty cool. I like the color of the tile that they chose. Feels very 5-star, very luxury. And then on the other side of it, there are actually a few hammocks that can dip down into the water. Though during my tour, it seemed very hot, very exposed to the sun, so definitely were not being used. Plenty of showers around as well. There's a pathway here that crosses between the sides of the resort, so this is a nice shortcut if you're trying to get from one side of the resort to the other. And there are a few shallow pools here, as well as some hidden hot tubs, which I love. So the plants kind of allow for you to have a little hideaway here, which is really fun. They even had some seating areas that did that here as well. So jets in the pool that you can turn on. But overall, I really like this area. I felt like it was probably pretty underutilized because so many of these pools are fantastic. But if the resort is busy, there are still areas that you can find to kind of hide away from everyone else, which is really fun. This resort obviously aimed at couples trying to get away, have a fancy experience. So that's great for that. The Impression Tower looms over you, and you can see those palm trees on top. We were going to head there in just a bit, but here's that pool with the glass side, as well as those hammocks again. Nearby is an excursion desk, so you can book tours away from the property, go snorkeling or something like that. Now we're heading over to the next pool here. This is the main pool. This is going to have another swim-up bar, so a nice option available for you if you want to hang in the pool and keep grabbing drinks all day. The swim-up bar also had incredible shade, a very nice palapa that overextended above the seats and stuff. So this is where I ended up staying a lot of my stay, just because it was quite hot. It was beautiful weather. We had almost no clouds in the sky, but it was quite hot here in July when I shot this. So some shallow areas as well as a deeper pool area just to enjoy the beautiful sun. So a very fun place to stop by. And it's very, very close to the Impressions area, and they actually have an entrance out directly to this pool area. So a good convenient option if you want to hang out with a few more people than over on the Impression side. Now this may actually be the main pool here. So shallow areas you walk in, and then a pretty deep section that goes all the way across. They had live music playing a lot of the day. That leads to the seaside restaurant. And then you also have the Monteraya swim-up bar as well. Now I'm going to say this pool during my visit was absolutely lukewarm. So I did not end up hanging out in here, but some people were. And just beneath that is going to be the beach club. So the beach club has a number of different areas that you can rent, including these cabanas. You're going to have nice plush day beds as well. And I believe these were first come, first serve. And then just single chairs as well that you can just sit out and sunbathe. I stayed in one of the palapas, which were first come, first serve as well. That was where I could find a seat. This was really the only public area that I was able to find any sort of seating just for me. So just keep that in mind, that this area, because the beach is not actually all that amazing here at the resort. That's one big negative. They have a great beach setup. They have beach games. They have beach volleyball. They have all the things that you want. You have waiter service, of course, but there were still vendors asking me if I wanted to get a massage, and they did try and rake the beach. They got rid of all the seaweed, which is nice, but the actual ocean itself that this resort is next to was not all that nice. Not that blue Caribbean color that you're looking for. So that's the only, I think, big negative that I would say about this whole pool and beach complex. It's also quite shallow. So if you are looking for ocean activities, good news is you are in Playa del Carmen. You're very close to amazing snorkel destinations. You can take a day trip over to Cozumel. But the beach itself, very nice until you hit that water area. As I said, there's beach volleyball, and they arrange different times during the day to do some volleyball games. And then here's the Sea Soul restaurant that we saw earlier. And this is where I had my welcome brunch. So I was here on the weekend, and they had this massive lunch setup going on. This was for the entire resort, not just Impression, but my butler, yes, butler over from Impression, led me over here because this was his favorite option for lunch for me. But they had so many different options of food. Basically every restaurant here on property had a little station. So Suki had a sushi bar, made sure to grab some sushi. Papaya had some awesome pad thai going on. Cecil had ceviche and aguachile going on. And then the Italian restaurant had a pasta station. The steakhouse had freshly grilled steaks, which looked absolutely amazing. And then Dos Almas had an awesome station with quesadillas, fresh tacos. It was awesome. I just absolutely love this about Mexican resorts when they do a big brunch like this, freshly made tortillas. And then they even had some craft beers, which was awesome because a lot of the resort usually has like a Dos Equis, or they actually had Bohemia, which is one of my favorite Mexican beers. But it was nice to try a little craft beer here in Mexico. Good views of the pool as well from lunch, as well as the beach. And if you're unlucky and you're here on a rainy day or maybe just a super hot day like today, you hang out in a palapa nearby and play some ping pong, some foosball, pool. So nice to have an option here for everyone as well. And for the service animals and perhaps pets, they do have a pet relief station right next to it as well. Now, there are a few secret pools here at the Impression Moxché. These cenote pools are pretty cool, very deep, kind of hidden away behind walls, so a fun place for couples to enjoy. But we're going to make our way back to the main building and explore a few more of the restaurants. The Allora Cucina is going to be the resort's Italian restaurant, as I mentioned, over at the brunch tour. So if you want your pizzas and your pastas, it's going to be a high-end version of that. And then right next door is going to be Bisou, which is the resort's French restaurant. So this is going to be a popular option as well. French food just always brings out the crowds of these all-inclusives, as well as Japanese. So if you are interested in those, definitely arrive on the early side, but a very elegant meal ready for people in here. Now we're almost over to the Impression side, but there are a few more areas that I wanted to point out, including the pharmacy, which is a functioning pharmacy during the day, but in the evenings, there is actually a secret in here. It's a speakeasy nightclub. So you walk through, you give them your password, which was Viagra on my night, funny enough. And it's called the Gypsy Club. So pretty cool spot in here. It's got a DJ going. They got high-end lights. They got tables. So it's like a nightclub at any other destination that you might visit. Very high-end experience here. Very impressed with this. In addition, right next door is going to be the resort's theater, and if you are interested in any of the theater shows, I do recommend getting there at least 30 minutes early. It got quite busy, but very cool stuff. They have a full LED screen in the back. They had awesome acrobatics going on, so a very impressive show for an all-inclusive. I thought this was definitely a pretty high-quality experience, so I would not miss out on this if you're staying here at the Impression or the Secret side. And right outside of this is going to be the walkway over to the Impression lobby and the Impression tower. So as I already mentioned, you have your own private check-in here. You have your own lobby. You never have to leave this tower if you don't want to. You have a restaurant on the top floor there, and you have a restaurant downstairs on the beach for dinner. So they really do want you to have an all-inclusive experience within that tower if you'd like, but you can also go and visit everything that I just showed you over on the Secret side. One big difference here is you're going to have butler service that is at your beck and call. So they arrange different pillows that you'd like in the room, all of the different dinner arrangements that you might need, any special experiences. They're there to help you. They communicate to you via WhatsApp. It's very convenient and they work very, very hard. So I really did like that experience, though I'm not really a butler person. I don't think I necessarily need one during my stay to make my stay, 10 times better than what it was, but it's very nice to have and very interesting to experience when it's offered. So the inside of this tower is very cool looking. They give you a pretty special looking key as well. It's made of wood and it's kind of extra small. I had room 1625, which is an ocean view room. This was given to me as an upgrade as a globalist, so nice that they had that on offer for me. And right as you walk in, to the right is a very unique feature at all of the Hyatt all-inclusives that I've experienced, and this is the secret box. So when you order room service can just drop this off right in the box and not bother you at your door. Very convenient option for those early morning breakfasts or maybe late night meals. Very cool option there, and they have some luggage storage right there as well. Now, as you walk into the suite, they dropped off a nice little welcome gift there. It's a bottle of mezcal, some chasers as well, so very large television right behind it as well. They had all of the Chromecast streaming, different international channels, so everything you could possibly need there. I like to watch the World of Hyatt channel, funny enough. Little living room area before we explore the rest of the bedroom. Nice sprawling couch to enjoy there, different little seating options, and then the mini bar, which is also all included. You have an espresso machine, San Pellegrino water, different Mexican waters from the mountains, which is great. All of the different glassware that you might need, wine openers, and then you have a mini bar with beers, sodas, everything that you could possibly need in there, as well as a wine fridge. So you do have some champagne chilling in there. Really awesome that they have that available. Now let's head out to the balcony. This is a pretty special feature as well. So not only is the view amazing of all the pools here at Impression, but you do have a soaking tub outside. So pretty cool to be able to just take a bath outside, enjoy the outdoors. It was quite hot, so I did not enjoy that during my stay, but a few different seating options as well. Again, this is geared towards couples, honeymoons, and if you are looking to plan your honeymoon here, I've sent plenty of clients around to Impression, and they've just come back with the greatest of things to say. So I can help you plan your trip. You can reach out to jacksonjetsetting.com/book, and I can give you a free quote. You get a good sense of the pool areas from here. You can see all the areas that we've already explored in this video. So now let's explore the rest of the suite. So you can see the living room here and then the bedroom area. So not separated by a wall. So technically these are junior suites in the way that I like to describe things. But it's cool that all the rooms have iPads. You can do all of your ordering for room service from there. You can make special requests. Everything can happen here on the iPad, control the lights and control the television even. And next to the bed, of course, you have all of your different plugs that you need to charge your devices and some literature even. They do give you a nice beach bag and you can take that home as a souvenir. And a nice oversized king bed here to enjoy your vacation. Very soft bed as well, I will say. One of the softest beds that I've experienced in Mexico during my travels. Little reading light here. All the plugs as well as the different controls for the lights. And let's explore the bathroom. So you do have a sliding door to separate you from the main bedroom here. Double sinks in the vanity. And I was very impressed with everything they gave you upon check-in here. You have a full bottle of SPF 50 sunscreen, very important in this area. You have bug spray, you have a full tube of Colgate. Very cool that they provide all of that. I know a lot of the all-inclusives do give you combs and razors and things like that, but going the extra mile and providing sunscreen, something that sometimes you have to pack in a check bag, is really great. Big soaking tub in between the toilet as well as the shower, which I was very impressed had some recessed lighting above the faucet, which was pretty cool. So very cool dark colors in here, very mysterious feeling. So definitely a vibe here at the Impression by Secrets Moxché. So now let's check out the closet. So you have plenty of space for storing all of your items. You actually have included dry cleaning during your stay, 3 pieces at a time. And so you can give that to your butler and they can handle that. They just need a 2-day turnaround time. So just keep that in mind. They also have unlimited shoe shining. Laundry bags, robes, as well as umbrellas in case of those rainy days. Slippers and steamers as well. So very nice here in the suite. Now let's head upstairs and go explore some of the more fun areas here at Impression. So Impression has its own Sky Bar, Cielo. It's a restaurant as well. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have a few seating options underneath the shade here as well as close to the pool. They had live music one of the times I was here. He was playing some awesome jams. I only tried lunch up here, but they had oysters, which was awesome. Again, this is all included. You could order as much as you'd like. Wanted to try the ribeye tacos. Those are all very high quality as well. Then I got the jumbo shrimp, which were absolutely excellent, served with the clarified butter. The next day I had some chicken tacos just to switch it up, and then the smash burger, which everyone told me to get, and it did not disappoint. Now we'll walk through the rooftop pool. So there are actually 2 rooftop pools here, one long pool alongside all of these sun loungers as well as the cabanas, and then a pool that's ocean front. And so the oceanfront pool is going to be infinity edge, and they're going to have waiter service throughout the day helping you get your drinks, so you never even have to leave the pool. It's really great. I absolutely loved this area. I think that this is a big selling point of Impression for me. I loved the entire experience up here, from the lunch all the way to all the pool service and the quality of the pools. It's just got great views. You can watch Cozumel, all the ships come and go. You even have hot tubs up here, though definitely not needed during my July stay. But just look at these views from up here. So of course you can rent a cabana up here for an extra charge, but you can also enjoy one down at the beach. So now let's go explore down at the Impressions area here on the ground floor. So to the right, it's going to be the exit to the Secrets public area. But then to the left leads you to this awesome pool with a cool bridge. You have a infinity edge here on the beach side, and that overlooks the dedicated beach area as well as a beach pool. And you have a dedicated bar right here as well. They serve food here too, so just really an awesome experience. And I loved the pretty cool looking hot tub at the end of this bridge here. Now, one restaurant that is exclusive just for Impression guests, but is not included in your stay unless you're staying 5 nights or more, is Teodoro. Teodoro is a 5-diamond dining experience. It's going to be that kind of Michelin star dining. It's going to be multiple course meals. So if you're here on a longer trip, I do recommend trying this out. I didn't get a chance to try it up because it was actually closed on Saturday night, which I found a little odd, but closed on Saturday nights. Very cool environment in here, indoors, air conditioned, and got these great beach and pool views. Down on the beachfront here is going to be the Seaside Beach Club. So you're going to have a bar underneath the building here, as well as a sandy dining area. And this was an area that I didn't hang out at too much. I did not enjoy the beach areas here, but it was very secluded when I walked through. They did serve a beachside dinner here that I did want to try out during my stay. And they had things being grilled, everything that you could possibly imagine being grilled, including lobster. That was included. So that is one nice high-end experience here, is that they actually include lobster in a lot of the meals. The lobster is on the menu upstairs as well. And they even had a few buffet options inside as well, maybe some salads, things like that. This is only offered certain days of the week, so just talk to your butler. I lucked out and they were doing this on the night of my visit. But just an incredible little experience here just for Impression guests. So this is the extra mile that you kind of look for when you're paying basically double what others are paying in the other tower on the secret side of the resort. Now, other nights they do serve food off of menu in here as well, just for Impression guests. So that is a great experience available to everyone here. And here's a closer look at the beach pool as well as the beach area. So not a very wide stretch of land by any stretch, and one little palapa there. So obviously not a focus here at the resort. Now, even though you are staying on the Impression side, you do get access to the Preferred Club over on the Secret side. This is in the Secret Tower. So they have a rooftop pool here that you get kind of those grand views of the entire resort from straight on. Basically the same view that I had walking in, checking in, but just much higher. So very cool that they have this on offer. It's a nice little bonus pool, I guess. But overall, I feel like with all the access that you have over on the Impression side, there's really no need for this pool. It's just a nice option. Maybe if you have guests or friends that are staying with you that are in this tower, you can at least go and visit them over here. And they do have dedicated dining up here as well that you have access to as an Impression guest. Nearby in this tower is also the resort's 2 pickleball courts as well as tennis court. It's not a hard court, it's just on that turf that a lot of the Mexican resorts have. So if you're looking to play tennis here, at least they have a full-size court. Didn't seem too busy during my stay, but not a lot of shade up here. It seems to be a common theme at a lot of these resorts. It's completely located on the back side of the resort, so you do have to go pick and search and find it. A lot of people did not know that this even existed, since it's on the roof of one of the buildings. Exploring around in the evenings, I did come across the beach more casual restaurant as well, so you can grab your burgers, hot dogs, quesadillas, that sort of thing here, and then a few more of these cenotes that weren't full of people when I was doing my tour, so I did want to feature those once again here in the evening, so you can always search out those special areas. Now, I was not able to receive late checkout as a globalist. They were just too busy, but they did provide a hospitality suite, which had a nice little swim out pool. And it's really nice that they offered this. I was able to take a shower after using the pool before transferring to my final resort on this review trip. So really cool that they went the extra mile here. And sadly, I then had to get my checkout receipt and head to the next resort. So let's get my thoughts on the whole stay here. So here are my impressions of Impression. Number one, the whole resort is absolutely beautiful. Definitely one of the most beautiful resorts that I've ever been to. I love all the different types of pools that kind of lead down to the beach area. The cenote pools were very unique. And of course, the big lagoon pool right as you enter, it just makes for really great photos. It's massive and something that you really can only get there. So I absolutely love that. The beach area, I would say, is not that great. You also had vendors and stuff that were yelling at you to try and get, a cheap massage or something like that. And I really didn't expect that. I expected a resort, that nice to kind of push those people away. The 2 sides of the resort, Impression and Secrets. Impression guests have access to the entire Secret side, including the Preferred Club. So that's like a nice rooftop pool. But honestly, if you're staying over in Impression, there's really not a ton of reasons to go over to like the Preferred Club area, because you already have your top floor pool. You have a restaurant there. You have all the pool services there, and it's just closer to the ocean. It was very nice to hang out there and just enjoy the pools. The food across the board at the resort was fantastic. I was very, very impressed with everything. The Impression side had lobster and steak for dinner right on the beach. That was like a special just for that night type of thing. So a lot of activities and events just for the Impression guests.
Very, very high end if you're staying there for a longer time. I only was able to stay there for one night because I'm checking out different resorts on this trip. But there's different events throughout the week, so it definitely keeps things going. And your butler will inform you of like what's up that day. So the butlers are very helpful. I'm someone who does not need a butler service, but I think for people that don't go to Mexico that much or are maybe here on honeymoon or something, it's nice to have the butler kind of cater to your every whim. I think on a longer trip too, he can get to know all of your preferences and it'll really help you out, have a better time on the trip, but they work really hard. Nice to be escorted up to the room. He also did arrange for a hospitality suite for me because I did a little late checkout and had to leave my room. But after I was done with the pools, I was able to take a shower, get changed and all that stuff. So that was really nice that they had that on offer.